Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back to the Shenandoah University Esports Arena here in Winchester, Virginia, where today is the first day of broadcast back from spring break. Tonight, we're going to be bringing you two Rocket League matches, starting with the Shenandoah Hornets taking on UCF Academy in an NACE matchup where the Hornets look to maintain the first seed leading into playoffs. My name is Brendan Mullis. I am welcomed here by Isaiah. Isaiah, how was your spring break?
My spring break was pretty relaxing, Moss. I mean, just kind of chilled back. I was playing a lot of Rivals, I will say, and a little bit of Tekken since our last recap show.
I like that. That I like. For me, I think my spring break was all right, But one thing I did miss was broadcasts and are watching our teams compete, and we are going to be doing that today. Like I mentioned, we have two Rocket League matches. This is the first of which we will be facing off against UCF Academy, and then the second of which we are going to be facing off against Florida Tech. That one is a NACE match, and then afterwards, don't forget, we are going to be playing a Smash Brothers match, which is going to be a fun time. But that doesn't matter until later on. For now, we're going to go ahead and take a look at the NACC standings here in Division 3.
Now, looking at it here, what we can see, Shenandoah, they are currently number one. They are, as you were saying, fighting for that number one spot, even though they are 5-0. That, if I'm correct, that means they are in, right, Moss?
Yes, I think, if I remember correctly, our competition coordinator did say, I believe, we are completely clinched when it comes to getting the playoffs. Right now, we are just trying to vie for the best position, make sure we have a good shot at going far this season. Now, our opponent tonight, because the other one is NACE match, is University of Central Florida Academy, who was right below us, sitting at 4-1 and that second place spot. And we're going to go ahead and take a look at the head-to-head stats we have here. Like we mentioned, UCF 4-1, Shenandoah University 5-0. Game lost, game won record, very close between these two teams.
Yeah, as you said, I'm expecting just in this head-to-head that between the two teams, we are in for one heck of a match tonight. I mean, as you see, the series loss only being one, but even then, the games won, games lost being close, and the game win percentage, it's just enough that tonight's going to be an exciting one here in NECC.
Yeah, and taking a look at my notes real quick, it's the top four teams in every game standings for NECC that makes the playoffs. So, barring some crazy things, I believe we are clinched. But regardless, we're going to go ahead and take a look at the UCF roster. We believe this is going to be the roster where you're going to have Super, Lucas, and Sosa. Now, that team, I do want to mention their losses this semester comes from a 2-4 loss against Puerto Rico, who was above Shenandoah there for a little while. They've lost the last two straight, so that's why they got knocked down a bit. But other than that, UCF has wins against Florida Southern, South Carolina, ODU, and then obviously Louisville has forfeited their entire season.
Yeah, now that we've heard about UCF Academy, let's go to the team that we know and love, the Shenandoah Hornets of Kiazi, Mango, and Pagani, the same three faces we all know and love that make up the Shenandoah Rocket League team.
Look at those handsome guys. Those are some handsome guys right there. I mean, they have been putting the work in these past few years, and it shows. I mean, we saw it just a second ago. They are 5-0, and their game record is 20-3. They have lost 3 games. They have won 20. And their only 3 games lost actually came in that St. Cloud match from last week that ended up going Game 7. Before that, they hadn't even lost a game. And, these guys are just cooking right now.
Yeah, and I mean, as you said, they're putting in the work. Knowing some of the Rocket League gameplay myself, it is not an easy game to kind of keep that pressure on and that fight in. So, as you said, they are fighting, and they are looking to keep that fight going yet another day.
Yeah, and I mean, we take a look at, we just talk about some of the stuff they've been going through. I mean, the past few semesters, I don't think I can talk about this enough. Communication. So key in Rocket League, and they have just communicated incredibly well. Now, they did lose those 3 games last week, and I think that stemmed from some miscommunication and maybe a little bit of, shaking off some of the rust since they hadn't played a game in a little while since before that. Excuse me, that was 2 weeks ago because last week was spring break, obviously. I'm shaking the rust off myself today.
I hear you. So, I mean, yeah, like it's been 2 weeks since we've seen our guys in action, and like you said, last week was spring break, so there's definitely going to be some rust to shake off, especially in the communication aspect and just making sure. But on the other hand, our guys, they've been playing together for a while now, so I think that team chemistry is found enough and solid enough that communication may just almost be secondhand, and they'll have those little mistakes that we saw in the game 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, and honestly, some of those mistakes were literally just like most of the goals that St. Cloud scored against us were just like the ball just kind of rolled in half the time, because I think there was one where Kiazi, I don't know if he thought that someone was behind him or just didn't expect the ball to get, over his head. There was one time where Pagani just didn't jump high enough. Like, it's just the little things. It was the little things that was keeping that series close against St. Cloud.
Yeah, but I mean, as we're seeing here on each of these player cams, they are focused. They're ready. This team is ready. They said, we are going to take this, make our record 6-0. We want to keep this going, right? They want to really push it and really secure this first place spot in Division 3.
Yeah, I mean, this season has been incredible for our Rocket League team. I think last season we struggled a bit. Let me go ahead and see if I can pull up their last season record for Shenandoah. Yeah, our last season in NACC, we had a 4-4 record. We went 23-22. And we lost in round 1 of the Division 3 playoffs. So this is, the divisions do get shuffled around every semester. Teams drop down a division, teams go up a division depending on performance. But speaking of performance, ours has improved so much just in a few months. And it's honestly hard to not just be really optimistic here and entering this I believe it's the last week of the season.
Yeah, I believe you're right. It is the last week of the season. But now I kind of want to turn some gears towards Rocket League just a bit more, talk about the game. Mm-hmm. I know they just started their 22nd season since they were taken over by Epic, and they just introduced the indicator for a flip reset. So now the game will tell us if someone's got one.
Maybe I'll be able to call that out now. I'll be able to notice it. Because, I struggle a little bit. Now, is that actually in the game already, or is that like a patch notes thing coming out in a few weeks?
Now, I haven't logged in personally. I saw that it seems like it's either being added or it got added as soon as the season started. But it looks like, and what I actually hear from the producer is it got added into the game as of last week.
Look at that.
And I believe it gives a visual cue as well to like players, so they can also tell that a flip reset has occurred.
That's actually really interesting. Now I wonder, I feel like it may help like some of those players that aren't like top tier, maybe with indicators like, okay, I hit it successfully, but I don't know how much that's actually going to affect the gameplay here. Do you think it's going to affect it that much?
I feel like you're saying, for some players, maybe, but and maybe tonight it just might. I mean, if you can tell that somebody got that flip reset, then you can kind of almost quickly plan what are you going to do in response. Yeah,
I guess that's the bigger part of that, is the other team spotting the flip reset and setting themselves up like that. And another thing I did notice, at least in the advertising, was that they're adding a boost timers, right?
I believe so, yes.
I'd be corrected by the producer in the back room, because sometimes I get those things wrong, but I think they added a boost timer to the game, whether that's coming in this update that we just happened or a future update. Looking like we're going to get into the game here shortly. But before that, I want to mention, let's highlight this a little bit. Last week of the season, last week of the season, we're going into this have not lost a series yet. Lost 3 games just against one team, St. Cloud State. This is honestly, I don't know if we've ever had. I mean, I guess I caught myself right there, because I was going to say I don't know if we've ever had a Rocket League season like this, at least since I've been here. Because if I said that, our producer in the back room would have yelled at me and been like, because our producer played on the Rocket League team before I started here, so he probably would have yelled at me. Because I had a really good, he would have been like, I had actually a really good team, and I had a really good season. Well, that was like 10 years ago, dude. So honestly, pipe down. We're focused on Mango, Kiazi, and Pagani absolutely cooking this season. Heading into the playoffs here, hoping to stay undefeated. Bring some huge momentum. And I don't know how buys work. I don't know if we get a buy off of that. But right now, it looks like we're going to go ahead and get ready to head into the game. Or are you excited for this one, Isaiah, or what? It's our first match back from spring break. I'm excited.
I would say I'm pretty excited. I mean, I've been missing broadcast just as much as you, and I'm ready to finally see this game going as we are heading in to the first, or it looks like
technical difficulties, unfortunately.
Yeah. So
Ooh.
not
Put me in,
quite
coach.
ready, but I'm excited. I was so ready that I was ready to jump right into the match.
Man, I was so ready, and we just left. What's going? Oh no, we're chatting. We're chatting in the bottom right, saying you're throwing. Oh no, this is rough. It's okay. Looks like we're getting back in the lobby here shortly, but I'm excited. I know we have 2 Rocket League matches tonight. We have a Smash match, which that is going to be really fun to cast later. I know you're not going to be there, unfortunately, but we do have someone coming in to help me out there. But regardless, we are going to start the first Rocket League match we have here tonight as Mango kicks it off for us.
Yeah, we see Lou here immediately taking it off the wall with Kiazi getting in the way. Back to I think. Mango going up in the air to contest it, keep it on UCF side.
Yeah, right now both teams vying for position in the middle of the field until Mango now has control of it on his own side. Super trying to slow that down a little bit. Both teams fighting over the boost. Right now Shenandoah doesn't have much, but they are still in position to go ahead and clear this ball until Super decides he wants to take it up the midfield and pass it to his teammate.
Yeah, Mango coming in to clear that out as Kiazi keeps it up in the air with hitting it right back over to Pagani, who's waiting to keep that ball in the midfield just a bit, with Lou contesting it, sending it to the corner, almost setting up something for a center there with Super coming in to help. And it's going to be close, but Mango taking the ball away into who was waiting on the wall for him.
Yeah, bumping right into slowing that down. But now UCF going to have to get back really quick there if they want to make sure that ball doesn't roll in, and it doesn't. But now Mango looking to center it. Ball still centered, even though he didn't hit it. Kiazi goes for it, doesn't get anything out of that. Now Pagani getting some boost, getting in position to clear this ball, maybe making an attack of his own until UCF slows him down there, contests that. But now Kiazi, one-man attack, going straight up to their goal. Doesn't get anything there. Good defense from UCF Academy until Pagani goes for 1-2. Doesn't get it. Mango has to race back there. So does Kiazi. Both teams, luckily they're in time. UCF not able to center that one just yet until they send a shot on goal. Pagani luckily there to make the save.
Yeah, we see the demo on Kiazi as Mango taking this ball, playing that defense to stop UCF's advance on the goal, with Pagani going in to help with missing the ball as Kiazi sends it up the field to a one-man defense on UCF's side. You're hitting it up. Pagani centering it, but it's not enough. Sending it over to Lou, where Mango is waiting, but Lou gets it past him over to Kiazi.
Yeah, I feel like Shenandoah is kind of struggling here on the side of boost things. Now they do have boost, but UCF making sure they can't take advantage of that as they clear it. Now send it over to Shenandoah's side. Mango makes that save. Now ball rolling back up the field towards UCF, who is going to try and take it on the attack, but Pagani stops that. Now passes it to Mango, who sends a shot on goal, but barely hits off the post. Now sent back Shenandoah's way. They're going to have to back up, rotate, and try once again.
Yeah, Kiazi driving it up. We see the pass, but it's blocked by Lou as Mango tries to make a shot on goal there. Pagani going up in the air to play that defense we know him for, as Mango blocks the shot, centering it up to midfield where Lou is waiting. But Mango closely following it up, sending it back into UCF's side. Just playing that ball close. Shenandoah looking for something. It gets centered to Pagani, who touches the ball, but it's not centered enough as Lou hits it away, clearing the ball.
I feel like that was a missed opportunity there. One of the players from UCF didn't see the ball or just missed it, and they're going to try and make the save there. They do. They missed it before and kind of just let the ball fall in front of their goal, and sadly Shenandoah just not in position to make a play off of that. Now the ball over on their side. UCF on the attack. Mango trying to slow them down and will be successful in that as Kiazi sends it towards their goal, but Super there just in time to make the save. Lou, what is he doing? He just sent it into his own goal!
We've got a goal for Shenandoah with just over 1:30 left on the clock, and this goal wasn't even from Shenandoah's player.
Did they forget what team they're on?
I guess so.
I think he just saw the center and was like, ooh, a ball, and then went after it like a dog.
Huh. Well, off this kickoff, we've got Pagani driving it right up the field to Super, where Mango contests it and loses the 50-50 to Super there. Mango immediately rotating back for that defense as UCF kind of keeping this ball in the midfield. Not really sure what they want to do after that goal just now.
Yeah, it's going to be hard to do a mental reset after that goal. Now Kiazi is going to try to take advantage of that, but you are making up for that mistake on the side of Lou making that save. Now ball sitting around midfield looking to center at UCF. However, Mango there to stop that. Now Super going on the attack for UCF, trying to center it for Lou, who's in position, has the boost to do something. However, whiffs on the ball right there. Now Shenandoah luckily not going to let up a score just yet. You are sending it back to the corner, trying to help his team center it, but Shenandoah going to stop that from happening too.
Yeah, Lou sending it to UCF's right side there, trying to drive the ball back up, but Mango waiting for him on the wall, sending it back as Lou sends it right back over to Shenandoah, almost like a return to sender kind of moment, as we see Shenandoah kind of playing that ping pong match that Rocket League sometimes goes to, as Kiazi shoots on the goal, but it hits the top crossbar to Pagani, who gets blocked, and then Kiazi gets blocked, and none of the shots are able to land in UCF's goal.
Yeah, Mango's still trying to make an attack work there. Now, I did see him bump a player out of the goal there for Shenandoah and tried to make that work. However, they weren't able to follow up on the 2 extra shots that they had. Now, 7 seconds left here. Shenandoah is still up 1. And that UCF has to score right here if they want to tie the game. They can't let the ball fall. Do they have the boost to make it happen? No, they don't. And Shenandoah wins game 1 off of an own goal from UCF Academy.
I'm not going to lie, Moss. I was a little confused when I saw the own goal there. I'm sure Shenandoah is glad they took it, but, I mean, what? You got to think, what happened to make you think all of a sudden that center is for your team and it's not a, hey, the enemies are about to score here?
I don't even know. I mean, we've seen moments like that in like basketball, right? Where it's like someone for some reason, like someone on the team gets a defensive rebound and their brain just like lags and they just send up a layup and they score and the other team's like, we'll take it. I feel like that's kind of what just happened here for Shenandoah. That was a really weird moment there. I think it was Lou just saw the ball getting centered for Shenandoah. Like, I think it was I don't know if it was an accident. I can't remember if it was an accidental centering from his own teammate, maybe trying to pass it so they can clear it. But Lou saw that and just went after it like a dog going after a tennis ball. And it worked out in Shenandoah's favor here as they go 1-0 in the series in this best of 7 we have here.
Yeah. And I mean, just a quick thing. It was a really small detail, but I saw that flip reset that got added.
Yeah.
It's like a quick little flash on the bottom of the ball. So it's actually not as visible as we thought it was going to be for players to note. So it's really more for the player that lands it to know, hey, do I have my flip back or not?
Yeah, and that'll be helpful for, just a multitude of reasons. But ignoring that, we are going to head straight into game number 2 as UCF hopes to bounce back from defeating themselves game 1.
Yeah, Mango immediately shooting on the ball, on the goal, but blocked by Super as Kiazi goes up, but isn't what they're looking for. Mango keeping it here in UCF's territory, but Super sending it deep into Shenandoah territory with Kiazi getting in the way of any more advancements on the ball, we'll say.
Yeah, but the ball's still sticking around on the Shenandoah side of things. They are looking to clear it. Pagani sends it, passes it straight to Mango, who looks to take a quick shot towards UCF's goal. Doesn't get anything out of it, but it does make UCF panic there for a little bit. Mango getting in position, trying to make the save. Ball doesn't get shot towards the goal at first. Mango now in control at least for a second, but gets bumped off by UCF player. Kiazi making some jukes, trying to send it UCF's way. Mango now back in position to try and pass it back to Kiazi, who is going to look for another attack. Gets past the UCF defender, sets it up, but gets blocked at least for the moment. Mango now going up in the air, looking to maybe bounce it off to himself or a teammate. Not going to get anything out of that one.
Yeah, UCF driving the ball up the wall as Mango is going, rotating, but gets bumped, sent to the ceiling, and we see Lou going for some area control, jukes out a Shenandoah player as it goes up. Kiazi with the block, making that save. Very good for Shenandoah's point of view.
Shenandoah player just like whizzing past it like 89 miles per hour. That was kind of crazy. But the ball luckily cleared, at least for a moment. You are trying to contest that, slow that ball down, set up his teammate for greatness, but not going to get anything there. Now Shenandoah resetting, rotating back, trying to get some boost, except for Kiazi. Goes up to try and make a play, slows UCF down a bit while his teammates get in position. But you are going up in the air, trying to dodge a Shenandoah player, and he will. Kiazi doesn't get there in time. UCF scores for the first time in their opponent's goal for this series.
Yeah, now with 3 minutes, 20 seconds left on the clock. Shenandoah is down 0-1. And it looked like we saw that flip reset is just what UR was looking for as he sends it into the goal into this next kickoff where Lou for UCF will take it, and it is immediately returned by Kiazi over into their territory.
Yeah, Pagani going to contest that, trying to get on the attack there for Shenandoah. Mango, who realizes he needs to back up, get some boost, rotates around, now in position to play some defense for Shenandoah. Mango now sending it their way. Lou just getting up in time, but the ball's off the mark by just a bit. Pagani going up to contest that one. However, UR still has control of the ball, centers it for his team, but doesn't have enough sauce to get that one towards the goal. But now Mango demos Lou. Now UCF down to 2 players, at least for a second there, but ball's going to slow down and make that kind of a moot point.
Yeah, we see a demo returned on Mango after we saw 2 demos from Mango, but Kiazi keeping that ball, trying to keep the control of the ball, but Lou is getting control, and it's going to the goal, but it's not enough. It gets hit just above the top crossbar, and Kiazi clearing it just enough to reset Shenandoah, who was kind of in a bad situation there just now.
Yeah, I don't know if did Lou save the home ball? Lou just sending it recklessly right now. Got to be a little bit extra careful right there. Pagani sends a shot on goal, doesn't get anything out of it, but ball bounces back towards Mango, who passes it back to Kiazi, getting some boost, trying to rotate back, get set on the attack as Mango lines up parallel, looking to help out his teammate, trying to center it for the side of the Hornets. Pagani going up in the air, looking for a goal, not able to get it just off the mark. Now Shenandoah has to rotate. No one's there in time. Mango not going to get back there as UCF just takes the ball right in. No one there on the side of the Hornets to make the save.
Yeah, just under 2 minutes left. UCF is up 2-0. Right now, it's looking like UCF almost has Lou making wild plays to try and call Shenandoah out of position just somehow with whatever Lou seems to be making the game plan.
Yeah, I think Lou, saved the ball from Shenandoah's goal themselves after shooting it, and then almost sent it back in their own goal on the other side of the field right after that. Kind of recklessly playing right now, but it works out. Nobody had boost to get back on the side of Shenandoah. Now down 2-0 here in game number 2 with a minute and a half left to play.
Yeah, we see UCF already putting the pressure on Shenandoah as the Shenandoah player hits it into the wall. But Lou going up again, contested by Mango. Mango winning it, sending it up to Kiazi, who sends it towards the goal. Pagani going for the shot, but it's blocked by UR. And immediately Kiazi has to make a play here. Shenandoah really looking for that opening, that opportunity, or even that center to get something working.
Yeah, jukes a couple players from UCF, but you are going to stop that from getting any further as Mango also makes the save there, but has to be in position. Pagani is there to make the save from Lou's shot now. 1 minute remaining. Shenandoah has to score kind of like right now if they want to make this comeback.
Yeah, Pagani waiting on the wall, realizes he needs to rotate back as UR demos Mango. Pagani immediately 180 and taking the ball with him. Pagani centers it to Mango, who's back, and he shoots to score Shenandoah's first goal of game 2 with just under 45 seconds left on the clock.
Yeah, huge goal. Great pass there from his teammate Shenandoah. Now only down by 1:44 seconds left. There is a chance here for Shenandoah. They were struggling a lot in the earlier half of getting some boost. They couldn't really get back in time, but they did a good job there getting that, and almost another goal from Shenandoah, who still on the attack, has a chance to tie the game up. 30 seconds left. Pagani wrestling with the other players of UCF in the midfield, who now take the ball back towards Shenandoah's side. A huge save there from Mango. Now Shenandoah going on the attack. 20 seconds left. Pagani sending a shot on goal, and it's going to go through for Shenandoah. The Hornets tie it up at 2 with less than 20 seconds remaining here in game number 2.
Tying it up with a corner shot, you see the goalie's there. I mean, that is not an angle you can just easily shoot at and go, well, it's going to be in. Nobody's blocking it. Going into the kickoff here, we see UCF and Pagani sending it straight up, but it goes more in UCF's favors. Lou has the ball, not one really in the goal. Mango and Kiazi colliding, but clearing the ball enough out of Shenandoah's goal.
Yeah, I mean, 8 seconds left. UCF trying to make a play on the ball. Pagani and Kiazi luckily in the goal on defense for Shenandoah. Now, final shot here is going to go nowhere as we send ourselves into overtime here in game number 2. Both teams wrestling for position. Shenandoah trying to raise their lead here in this series.
Yeah, Mango going to contest UCF from driving that ball any more close to the goal as Mango is stopped by Lou in that aerial advance, and you are sending it right back to Kiazi, who's going to knock it into the air, putting it in midfield there. Pagani gets past, and now Mango has to be in goal just in time, and he gets it, stopping Super from scoring that game ender right there.
Yeah, huge save there from Mango, who tries to pass to Pagani, but UCF gets in the way of that until Kiazi now sends it back up their way. Just one person in the goal to try to make the save, and Mango looking for a follow-up, doesn't get it. Now, Shenandoah, Kiazi, and Pagani have to get back in position. Super has it centered, but Pagani making great plays there, has the boost to make the save. For now, Shenandoah trying to get past UR, who gets bumped, but saves it at least for the moment as Mango goes up in the air, tries to center for his team, but Super there to collect that ball for UCF, who now sends it back to Shenandoah's side of the field.
Mango driving that ball off the wall, who it gets hit by UR, where Kiazi is waiting and hits it up, Super rotating back. Kiazi missing that second touch in the air, but Mango luckily there to follow up, trying to fake out UCF, but it wasn't enough. Pagani getting the demo and driving the ball up, but UCF able to respond quickly. Shenandoah, Mango just getting the ball. Pagani rotating back in just enough time to clear that ball from the goal and drive it back over to UCF's side, where Lou is going to be waiting. Pagani keeping that pressure up, looking to center this ball for his teammates, but it's just hit as Kiazi gets blocked by Super, putting it back in the control of UCF.
That was a huge demo there from Mango, trying to help his teammates out clear the UCF goal so that they could make a huge shot there, trying to win the game, but unfortunately unable to, at least for now. Now, UCF has the ball on Shenandoah's side of the field, but Kiazi's going to stop that shot from occurring as Super sends it back towards his own teammate, but Mango there to intercept that one, at least for the moment. Now they're playing volleyball in the middle of the field. Both teams looking for position, trying to get a clear shot on goal. Not able to find anything just yet. Both teams trying to look for some rotates, trying to get some boost back, but you are sending it out Shenandoah's way. Mango making sure that one doesn't go through. Now both teams trying to get to the ball, who's currently floating around the midfield. Pagani has control of it for now.
Yeah, UCF keeping pressure on Pagani, still in control of the ball, trying to set it up, gets it past UCF, and it's going to be good from Kiazi, making Shenandoah take game 2, 3-2, in almost a 2.5 minute overtime.
Yeah, and honestly, MVP of at least game number 2 there was Pagani. Ooh, huge tying shot goal there at the end of regulation, and then a huge pass right there from Pagani over to Kiazi to score that game-winning goal. Wonderful plays there from the Hornets, able to come back. You know, they were down 0-2 going into the last minute of that one, but they kept calm, cool, and collected and were able to take that game, now leading the series 2-0 here in this best of 7.
Yeah, and I've got to hand it to UCF. They showed that they can make quite the comeback from that mental game of loose scoring the game winner in game 1 for Shenandoah. So, but like we're saying, the competition, as soon as they locked back in, it became neck and neck, and Shenandoah, there comes. They had to increase that team synergy and the communication they know, because they were down 0-2 until that last minute in the game.
Yeah, and one of the goals that they had was a lot like the goals from against St. Cloud State, where the ball just kind of rolled in and they hadn't rotated back in time. And I think what kind of led to those 2 goals in the first half of the game from UCF was Shenandoah losing the boost game. They didn't have a lot of boost consistently to make plays on offense and rotate back to get on defense quick enough, and I think that led to them falling behind early on. But they fought back and were successful in that comeback, and now lead 2-0 here against UCF, vying to stay undefeated here as we are in the last week of the regular season.
Yeah, just in Shenandoah's minds, got to be keeping that pressure up as we head in to game number 3 with Kiazi immediately driving the ball up into UCF's territory. Almost centers it right there for a teammate, but it's no good as UCF gets in the way, and Super starts to take control of the ball with Mango saying that's not going to last too much longer.
Yeah, Lou trying to send it back Shenandoah's way, but Mango waiting for it to land. However, Lou going up to contest that one. Can't contest Pagani right after that, who's now going in the air. A UCF player tries to fight him on that, but is unsuccessful. Shenandoah still has control of it. Mango sending it through the air, trying to center it or just send it in. Bumps Lou out of the goal. They have a chance, but we're unable to follow up. Now UCF on the attack themselves. Kiazi in the goal trying to defend that. Pagani helps them. They get the ball out of UCF's reach, at least for the moment. Now Pagani going on the attack. Misses the ball for a second, and that's going to cause Super to go ahead and contest that one successfully. Now you are taking the pass there from a Shenandoah player, and it's just going to bump the ball in off of the hood of Pagani. Shenandoah unfortunately setting up UCF there for the play. Lou, you are in good positioning there. UCF able to take this lead up to 1-0.
Yeah, just over 4 minutes left on the clock, and it looks like Shenandoah's comms kind of confused about who was going to take that one, trying to help each other with Mango taking the ball deep into UCF's territory where UR is waiting for him. Pagani trying to take this opportunity, but it is blocked by Lou to Mango, who is waiting, but Lou still there, ready to take the ball back from Shenandoah.
Yeah, Lou lands looking for a follow-up there. UCF almost just scores off the rip. Shenandoah doesn't make the save, but the ball bounces off the post. Now Pagani control, but you are going to slow that down. However, Kiazi going up in the air, looking to center his teammate. Mango waiting. The ball not going to go through. However, Pagani now follows up, at least there for a second, but Super has something to say about that. Kiazi trying to stop him, but UCF in a good spot to make a shot on goal. Bounces off the post. Now Kiazi has possession of it. Mango has possession of it himself, who's going to take the ball off the post, unable to send that rebound on in through the goal.
Yeah, UCF taking control of the ball as we see Super driving it towards Shenandoah's side, and immediately Lou having to rotate back. The Shenandoah blocks the attempt on that first goal. Both UCF players trying to get something, with Kiazi waiting at the goal, trying to clear that ball, but it's stopped right there, and Pagani trying to help out, but Super's ready to go, with Mango clearing the ball over to UCF's side, over to Pagani, waiting for him on the right side.
Yeah, both teams playing pretty decent defense here as we head into the final 3 minutes of this match. Now the ball floating up dangerously close to UCF's goal as Kiazi goes up in the air, but doesn't have the boost, doesn't have the timing to make anything happen there. However, Pagani going to send himself right over Lou's head, as now both two huge demos there from UCF. Another demo. The entire Shenandoah Hornets team going down, at least for a second there. Now all respawned up, but it doesn't matter. Mango back to the respawn screen as Super looks to take advantage of the numbers that UCF has here, but Mango back up and ready to center it for his teammate. Pagani not able to get up there in time to shoot that one. Now UCF taking it back their own way. Lou bounces it off the top of the goal, and Super finishes that one as UCF goes up 2-0 here in game number 3.
Yeah, just under 2 minutes left. I mean, UCF took advantage of Shenandoah not being there. There was an open goal, and UCF said, we're going to take that. You're not there. So Shenandoah in a similar situation from game 2 as we go into the kickoff in just under 2 minutes left.
Yeah, and right now Lou just trying to make something happen again off rip. No one back there. I mean, Kiazi was back there, but just wasn't in a good position. Didn't have the right angle to make that save. And Shenandoah, another miscommunication. Kiazi not able to get back there in time. He had the boost. I just don't think they were ready for that one.
Yeah, just right there, another miscommunication leading to that open goal scenario that Shenandoah is fearing, as Pagani kicks the ball off right to Mango, who shoots and gets it immediately off kickoff, shortening this lead here from 0-3 to 1-3.
Yeah, huge rebound there from the Hornets as Mango sends that one through for their first goal of the game here. Now, that was huge. You needed that. You have 1:48 left to score 2 goals, trying to also play good defense, make sure that lead doesn't get even further as Mango goes up in the air trying to make something happen. Kiazi gets back just in time to make that save for now, but UCF still has control of it. Kiazi, however, following up for a second there. Super going to win that contest. Now looking to center it for his teammate Lou, who was waiting for the ball, but Shenandoah, good defense. Lou just misses the goal. Now looking on the attack. Mango trying to center it for his teammate. Kiazi almost gets the ball through the defense of UCF, but none able to, as Mango looks to take this back on the offense. A minute remaining about. Now Pagani has the boost, trying to make something happen. Doesn't get it just yet. Ball bounces around in front of the Shenandoah goal, and this one looks to be a stalemate.
Yeah, Mango taking it up in the air as there's a minute left on the clock, and Super clearing it for UCS to help get it out of the goal. Kiazi going up to block, gets the save, with Mango helping out before UR gets a chance to shoot the ball into the goal again. And Kiazi clearing that ball up to Pagani, who's got an open goal right now. It stops right in front of the goal, but it's blocked by Lou, clearing it just enough for UCF to make a play and go back on the offensive here against Shenandoah.
Yeah, another Shenandoah player rushing to try and send that one through to help Pagani out, but just barely missed it. UCF got it out of there. Now 30 seconds remaining. Shenandoah down by 2 goals. They need to make something happen right now as Super looks to make a shot on goal, sends it off the crossbar, sends it back to UCF player, who sends another one through. And UCF takes their lead up to 4-1 here with 17 seconds remaining. That was just an onslaught attack there from UCF. Shenandoah unable to bounce back from that one, most likely as they go down 4-1.
Yep, 17 seconds left on the clock going into kickoff. Pagani winning the kickoff. We got an open goal, but nobody able to capitalize on it from Shenandoah. UCF driving it up the field. We've got 9 seconds left on the clock. It's looking close. Kiazi going to make something happen, but unfortunately it's looking like Shenandoah does not have what they need in order to get it, as the game 3 will end 4-1 in UCF's favor.
Yeah, UCF finally winning their first game of this best of 7, now down 2-1 in the series. And we saw very similar first half there from, looked very similar to game number 2. However, this time, instead of the comeback happening, UCF played really good defense to close that one out and make sure the Hornets didn't come back. And that was honestly the difference, was just defense. I mean, there were multiple times where Shenandoah had a clear shot on goal and somebody got there just in time. There was that one opportunity they had later on where, Pagani had it centered, it bounced off and then just kind of landed in front of the goal. Another player from Shenandoah, I don't know if it was Mango or Kiazi, flew by it, just barely missing, and UCF was able to get it out of there. But otherwise, UCF played incredible defense, not letting a single goal through there towards the end of that one from Shenandoah, and able to take that game number 3.
Yeah, and I mean, as you're saying, that defense, it's showing, and especially just with the defense, UCF showed that they've got some patience. If we noticed, there were times Shenandoah, everyone's up. UCF said, well, everyone's up, so we can take some time. They don't have anyone. If we get one good clear, that's what we need, and we can take it back. And we've got an open goal now because they're all on our side of the field.
Yeah, I mean, that last goal that they had, indicative of the great communication from UCF. I mean, they were I think they had 3 shots on goal in that 3 second time amount of time. And it worked out for them. But we are going to go ahead and head here into game number 4 as the ball rolls around midfield, goes up in the air. You are trying to contest that one. Going to center, not really able to get there. And now Shenandoah on the attack. They have a little bit of boost, not enough though to really make anything happen, as Lou's going to get there in time to make the save. But Mango going to bump him off of the ball and look to get control of that one, but just barely misses as Lou goes over his head. Now Super on the attack, trying to set up his team, but Pagani able to slow that down at least for a second, but ball above the goal, bounces back towards the players. Shenandoah able to stop that one, at least for now. Ball rolling around the midfield. Players bumping into each other, vying for positioning. Lou waiting for the centering. Super going to take that shot, but Mango able to make the save there. Is now Pagani in control of that. Sends it up past the midfield. Ball rolling around there. Kiazi trying to send it to his teammate, but unable to get anything out of that one. Kiazi going back towards the midfield, looking to make the save. Huge rotation there from the side of Shenandoah.
Yeah, Mango keeping this offense going as we see a pass over to Pagani that is taken by UR there. Kiazi ready to take something, make something happen. Mango hitting it off the wall. No one able to follow it up as there was a demo. UCF just keeping that pressure on. We see Pagani setting it up. It's right to Mango, but it's not centered enough as Pagani has to move over to the right wall to see what can happen for Shenandoah, with Mango going up to keep it on UCF's side, driving it back towards the ball as UCF is able to get up and block the ball.
Yeah, sends it right back to Kiazi, who's looking to make a superhero play. Not able to get anything there because of Super making a great save there for UCF, who is still trying to clear that ball, trying to get it to their teammates up the field. But Shenandoah there, they have the boost to make something happen. A ricochet off of a UCF player, almost sends it in, but Mango going to follow up on it and gets the goal here to open up game number 4 with 3 minutes remaining.
Yeah, Shenandoah there, Shenandoah's Mango taking the big opportunity that was set up. I mean, the pass from the enemy team, and they're not able to stop and turn around and rotate for it, giving Shenandoah that goal to really kind of push their momentum here in game 4, going into the kickoff. Kind of stay still as Kiazi's going to take this ball, try to send it somewhere, but not enough boost to do much with it. Centering the ball to Pagani, who gets stopped by Super, keeping the ball in the midfield, as Mango waiting on the wall to see if something can happen for Shenandoah here.
Yeah, slowing them down, but getting past Mango, at least for a second. Pagani, though, waiting for that one. However, ball centered. They have a chance to score. UCF ties it up almost immediately too many players, I think, just going up for that ball and not ready for it. And yeah, just unfortunate, attempt there. I can't tell what Shenandoah player that was, but they went up to fight that. And unfortunately, it's going to cost them a goal as the game 4 is now tied here at 1 apiece.
Yep. Super taking that kickoff immediately. 2 demos off the rip. Both teams down a player. And we see Lou immediately getting it off the wall, centering it for UCF's second goal. Immediately the score has become 2-1 in UCF's favor.
I'm just trying to watch this replay happen. Yeah, every player just, they recognized what was about to happen. I know Mango and Pagani both came in there towards the end, but they were just too little too late here as UCF is going to now take the lead here in game number 4. Shenandoah has to clean up these mistakes, and another mistake might have been just made. However, the ball pings off the post. Luckily for the Hornets, as their mistake gets cleared up by a shot missed by UCF. Now Pagani looking to try and take this one on the attack. Mango now in control of it, at least for a second. Bumps Lou off of the ball. Now who is going back to try to make the save? Kiazi looking for a shot on goal. Doesn't get anything. Doesn't get a great hit out of that one. Now Mango sending it back towards UCF, who now has control of it. Mango, however, going to demo UR, but gets demoed back by Lou as both teams looking for positioning, and a shot on goal not going to get anything there for Shenandoah. Now has the ball rolling around in front of the UCF goal.
Yeah, Mango keeping the ball on this side, playing third man, trying to keep it there as Lou will bring it back over to Kiazi, who's waiting on the wing. There, Mango following the ball across Shenandoah's goal, looking to drive it back over to UCF's side to keep this offense going. Lou ready to go as UR goes up, keeping the ball in their favor. Unfortunately for them, Mango ready for something, but is stopped by Lou, who's ready to keep this goal protected for UCF.
Yeah, Mango looking to juke the players on UCF, but almost leads to a goal for them. However, Kiazi able to make the first save. Is he going to be able to make the second save? No. Unfortunately, UCF does score once again, now taking the lead up to 3-1. And unfortunate there from Kiazi. Ball ricocheted a couple times there, setting UCF up for a clear shot there. Now they're up 3-1 here in this game number 4. Just over a minute. Shenandoah is going to have to score very quickly if they want a chance to tie this one up.
Yeah, we see UCF keeping control of the ball right now. Somebody from Shenandoah trying to keep that out of the way as Kiazi clears it up to Super, who keeps the ball in midfield there, more in favor of UCF, with Mango waiting to help out, gets demoed immediately by Lou. Super trying to make something happen, but Pagani in the way again. Kiazi driving the ball up to Pagani, but it's stopped by Lou as Shenandoah's offense stops right then and there.
Yeah, unsuccessful pass there. UCF's great defense going to get in the middle of that one, but the ball now going back towards their side. Pagani trying to contest it midair. Mango going to whiff on that one. Sets Super up for a center for the UCF team. However, Kiazi going to take that back the other way. Finds an opportunity to try and slow down that attack from UCF, but not going to be able to slow it down for very long. Now ball gets sent back towards Shenandoah's side, who are looking to clear it and maybe take an attack. But unfortunately, Pagani centers it for UCF, and they send it through for their 4th goal here of the game.
Yeah, just 15 seconds left on the clock, and the lead has grown to a 3-point differential. I mean, Shenandoah in a really bad spot. Almost have to score a goal immediately off each kickoff here. We head into the first one. Mango immediately stopped by Super. Nobody in Shenandoah's goal, and UCF will use that to make the gap even larger, making it 1-5 in UCF's favor.
Yeah, just an unfortunate bounce. Mango lost it, and there was nobody behind him to make the save there. UCF now up 5-1. It would take a miracle at this point to even tie this game up, much less win it, as Kiazi is going to try to at least lessen the blow, but unable to get an attack going there. Now Pagani going to send it back towards UCF side. Look to juke a UCF player, center up his team. Shenandoah player flies by the ball, and with 0 seconds remaining, the ball will fall towards Mango, who's trying to extend this game a little bit. However, not going to extend it enough as UCF takes this one 5-1 here in game number 4. Series now tied at 2 apiece.
Yeah, I mean, what do you think is going on through Shenandoah's head? I mean, they had those first 2. I mean, yes, game 1 was Lou took that goal opportunity on his own team, but Shenandoah now tied in the series 2-2. I mean, mentally, that's got to be a bit taxing.
Yeah, I mean, they're kind of beating themselves. I can tell they were kind of beating themselves up from a couple of the goals during the game. They realized that the goals they had let through were kind of just dumb mistakes, ball rolling through, and it feels like that's been kind of the story of the season when it comes to the goals they have let up, which, not a whole lot to be fair, but, UCF catching them off guard with a couple of these shots. They're going to have to clear up the communication, maybe, clean up their rotations, try to bring this one back.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot, especially now that the gap has gone even larger each time so far for UCF. But, I mean, it's going to be a comeback. Mentally, I think Shenandoah's got this. They're still in this. It's going to be what's going wrong? What are we going to do to change what's happening? How are we going to fix the mistakes that we're seeing?
Yeah, and honestly, it's just, if I were them, I don't know. I think there's each team has a 5-minute timeout that they can take. And honestly, if I'm Shenandoah, I probably would have taken it there. But I don't know I don't think they're opting to. Maybe they're just, full on reset. I saw some meditation going on there from some of the Hornets players. We're looking to reset their mental here going into Game 5, and they're going to need to, because the momentum is completely shifted to UCF's favor. I think that UCF responded very well to that comeback that Shenandoah had game number 2. They were down 0-2, minute 45, a minute actually, and they were able to come back, win that in overtime. And their defense has been cleared up. Lou's, I think, not playing as recklessly as they were in the first 2 games, and I think that's helped them out. Right now, Shenandoah just needs to clear their minds and keep it pushing. Series tied 2-2. It's not like this is over. It's best of 7. It's NACE, so there's still a lot left here of this Rocket League match.
Yeah, and I mean, we know these guys here at Shenandoah. They're a fun bunch. They're an energetic bunch, and some more talkative than others. But if anything, taking what I believe they did take was their 5-minute break just now, actually.
Yeah.
And so they used that to reset. They said, "Hey, we got to make sure having fun."
Yeah.
We'll plug the holes in the ship as it's sinking, but we'll figure it out. We'll get back to the way we want to play this, and we'll get the tempo to where we need it so that we're successful in this series.
Yeah, and tempo is a good word there. I mean, it felt like they were all on different tempos as individual players. I didn't think they were, a lot of their attacks didn't really feel like they were in sync. It kind of felt like, maybe one player, like a couple players thought they were just, one play was happening, but it was actually a different play. Maybe someone thought they were passing to somebody else when the person they were passing to didn't know and thought they were just going to take the shot. And then a few times there, just too many Shenandoah players going up in the air for a ball. And I think that led to a few goals too, which was pretty unfortunate. And those are the kind of mistakes that you're going to have to clean up here. You can't let, against a team that, UCF only lost 1 series this season. They are in second place. They are right behind us. This was not supposed to be an easy game here. Those are the types of goals you can't let through. You can't let the roll-ins. You can't let the miscommunications. You can't let the just whiffed balls go through if you want to win this series.
Yeah, and if I'm Shenandoah, I'm thinking, hey, we got to watch out for how much we're committing. But looks like we are heading in to game number 5 with the series tied 2-2. Off the kickoff, Mango immediately driving it to UCF, where Lou is waiting for him in the air. Mango keeping the pressure on, but immediately sending it back where Pagani is waiting, but is immediately demoed. Kiazi replacing Pagani to help Shenandoah clear that ball up into UCF's territory.
Yeah, and you are just barely getting back there to make the save as there is no one in the goal to make that, to play any defense there for UCF. Now, ball still on their side of the field. They are looking to clear it, but Pagani is going to slow that down. Centers it for Kiazi, but Super bounces that ball back towards his player, Lou, in the midfield, who almost sends it through, but you are looking to follow up, tries to center it for his other teammate, but Pagani there to stop that. Now, Kiazi following up, sending it over to Mango. No one in the goal except for Lou, who makes the save. That was now, no one in the goal there for UCF. Ball almost rolls in, but not going to just yet. Pagani trying to follow that one up. Now Mango as well, sending it back towards Super on the side of UCF. Kiazi following up. A couple players bumped out of the goal there for UCF, and we hear the ping off the goalpost. Now, ball still centered, however. Kiazi goes up in the air, but a huge save there from UR. Shenandoah not letting the onslaught going. go up in flames here as Mango going up in the air, trying to make a save. Jukes the first player, unable to juke the second player. Shenandoah not going to get a goal out of that insane sequence of events.
Yeah, immediately Shenandoah sending it right back over to UCF, where Super tries to get it out of there, but Pagani immediately ready, putting it back in the midfield as it gets centered. Mango passing it up to Pagani, who's waiting, and it's just stopped as it's about to enter the goal. Super clearing it for UCF and driving it back over to Shenandoah's side, where Mango is rotating just in time to get a save on Shenandoah's goal.
Yeah, now to boost, but his two teammates have the boost to go ahead and back him up on defense as the ball now gets sent over to UCF side. Lou able trying to make a play. Kiazi sails over that ball, but Mango there, at least for a second there, gets juked for a second, but he realizes his awareness and he's able to make that save, sends it back over the other way. Ball gets centered at least for a second, but Shenandoah now looking to clear the ball out of there as Lou bounces it off of Pagani's car. Now gets sent back to Super on the side of UCF, who gets a shot on goal, bounces off the post. Now Shenandoah on defense, trying to rotate, make sure they're in position to make these saves. Another ball almost gets sent through, and it does! UCF taking a 1-0 lead here with 2.5 minutes remaining in game number 5.
Seeing a different tempo and pace here from Shenandoah as they had that onslaught, but were able to rotate back into that defense, holding that first goal from occurring, headed into the next kickoff. Immediately, Pagani winning that favor, Lou taking the ball, and UCF driving it towards the goal, blocked by Kiazi waiting in the goal. Mango on the wall, ready, passing it back to midfield where UCF is going to hit it over. They're looking for the pass, is close, but Pagani clearing that ball, sending it over to the left wing to see what will happen there.
Yeah, Mango and Kiazi both waiting in the goals to make some saves here, but Lou going to stop that attack from the side of Shenandoah. Now UCF trying to pass it back to their own teammates. Mango going to slow that down, going to contest it up in the air. Pagani looking to contest it himself, doesn't get anything out of that one. Mango gets bumped out of the goal, and Kiazi misplaced jump there as sails right over Kiazi's car and into the goal for UCF. Huge bump there from Lou on the Mango, getting him out of the way so they can clear up the goal for their teammate to make the score.
Here in game 5, just the gap between Shenandoah and UCF 2-0 with just under 2 minutes left on the clock. Super trying to get something, but is just chilling over in Shenandoah's goal. Mango keeping that pursuit as we see a shot blocked again yet by Mango, and he just continues to drive it up in the air, jukes out one UCF player to Pagani, who shoots, but it's blocked by Lou. But Kiazi looking to follow up, but it's blocked by Super. Just great defense here from UCF, keeping Shenandoah out as they keep this pressure on. Mango knocking UR out of the way, but Super keeping that ball up towards Kiazi on Shenandoah's side.
Yeah, Kiazi just going to get bumped out of the way there for a second, though. Mango going to clear the ball, send it over to Pagani, who now takes it into the air, but loses it in the middle of that. And Kiazi trying to follow up and send it back. Mango looking to bump some players out of the goal for Shenandoah, but not able to get the ball over there. Now Super going to try and center it for Lou, who gets a shot on goal, but pings off the top of that one. Now Pagani sending it back the other way. You are going to miss that one. Now Shenandoah has a chance to score, and they do! Kiazi lowering the lead now. Shenandoah with their first goal here in game number 5. Score sitting at 1-2 in a tied series.
Shenandoah with that goal saying we may be down, but we are not out yet. We've still got a minute here, and we are looking to tie this and even just win this one. Heading into the kickoff, you are taking it for UCF as Mango tries to fly it further towards the goal, but it goes over to Kiazi, who's waiting on the other wall. Kiazi centering the ball, but it's just too much as it goes over to Pagani, who's waiting on the other side of the goal. Mango goes up, keeping that ball center, setting up somebody, but it's not enough as Lou takes it for Florida there. Mango trying to contest it, and it's enough for Pagani to come in and help him out with 30 seconds left on the clock. Shenandoah needing to make something happen, and it hits the top crossbar, and it's not going to do it.
Yeah, Kiazi just barely missing that one, but the ball still centered. 19 seconds left. Shenandoah has to make something happen right here, right now. Kiazi getting back on defense. 13 seconds remaining. That ball is going to bump off of a UCF player. 9 seconds remaining. Shenandoah looking to center up, set up their teammates for the score here, trying to tie this one up. 4 seconds remaining. They have to do something right here, right now. That ball cannot touch the ground. Pagani going to send it up in the air. It is centered. There is a chance. Shenandoah can hit it, but they can't get there in time. UR gets the save. That ball, however, still in the air. Mango trying to make the save, trying to extend this game just a little bit, but now it's looking bad here for the Hornets as it's on their side of the field. Ball bumping off the cars. They are looking to keep it up in the air. Mango just barely getting under that one. However, it's going to roll for a second there. Kiazi now taking it up towards UCF side of the field. Lou looking to send that one down to the ground. Mango trying to stop that from happening. Bumps off of him and goes up into the air. Super sends it down onto the ground, and Shenandoah loses that game 1-2. Dear Lord.
Oh, my goodness. Now I know we've all seen Rocket League is car soccer, but for a minute there, that last 0 seconds on the clock became car volleyball. I mean,
Yeah.
2-1. Shenandoah doing whatever they can to keep that ball from touching the ground. Unfortunately, UCF waiting and ready to do whatever they have to do to knock that ball to the ground and find an opening to end the game 2-1.
Yeah, I mean, you know, what I will say about the Hornets there is they cleaned up most of their mistakes that they were making those previous 2 games. However, what's killing them now is their shot percentage. Their accuracy right now that looked pretty bad. I mean, not to diminish how good UCF's defense was there, because it felt like, you ever seen that video of it's a fake video of it's like a soccer video, and the goalie he's just making a bunch of saves off his face, and the ball keeps pinging back and forth. That's what it kind of felt like there. I mean, Shenandoah had like 2 or 3 attacks where they were just like following up. It was follow-up after follow-up, and they just kept shooting, and they just couldn't get anything done. I think they even ended the game with more shots on goal than UCF had. They just couldn't send anything through. Yeah,
I mean, and now mentally they've got to lock it in here as we head into Game 6. They are down in the series 3-2 right now. So Pagani going up, but sailing right by the ball. Super immediately taking that ball. Mango rotating to keep it somewhat contested. Make sure it's not easy as Pagani comes in to help out Mango, but is immediately met by Lou waiting on the wall. Lou waiting patiently. Mango then saving the ball there for Shenandoah as UCF keeping that pressure on heavily in Shenandoah's side.
Yeah, Shenandoah trying to bounce back from these past 3 games as Kiazi looking to take it up the midfield right over to Mango, who sends a shot on goal. Pings off the top. Not a save there from UCF, but hits off the top of the goal. Ball now falls in front of their goal, but Shenandoah can't capitalize on that as Mango now rotating back to try and stop this attack from getting any further than it has, but the ball's kind of falling right in front of their goal. That's a little bit dangerous there as Lou's looking to take advantage of that positioning, but Mango gets the ball past them, now looking to get it past UR, and does. There is a clear goal. Mango has a chance, but it's an awkward angle, and not going to get anything out of it. Pagani looks to take the pass into it, doesn't get anything out of that. Shenandoah not able to capitalize off of that huge blunder from UCF.
Yeah, immediately Pagani rotating back and clearing that ball from the goal. Super waiting for him, but Kiazi ready to respond as UCF keeps the ball here on Shenandoah's side. Lou going, the goal is open, and UCF will score the first goal of Game 6, taking the lead 1-0 with just over 3 minutes and 30 seconds left.
Yeah, Super demoing what would have been the savior for the Hornets on that shot. Unfortunately, as they go down 0-1 here in game number 6, that is a game they need if they want to extend this series any longer here as Super goes up in the air and has a clear shot, but sends it off the top of the crossbar. And unfortunately, Shenandoah not able to backflip in time to get in front of that one as the ball goes through the bottom of their goal. Pagani just barely missing.
Yeah, that's just a hard goal to try and save. I mean, you're expecting the ball to go one way, and then all of a sudden your momentum needs to shift 180 degrees immediately to stop that. With Super taking it off the kickoff early in the Shenandoah side, Mango flying up to hit that ball over to try and put some pressure here on UCF to stop this onslaught of attacks we're seeing on Shenandoah's goal.
Yeah, Kiazi trying to clear that one, but it's going to bounce right back his direction as Shenandoah does eventually get it out of there. Now Lou in position to take this the other way, and Kiazi trying to contest that one. Does for just a second, but the ball bounces poorly there for Shenandoah, who just barely sets it above the goal, trying to center for it clear, but it's still a little bit dangerous there as a follow-up almost got UCF a goal. However, Mango now in position to center this, or even just take it in himself for Shenandoah, but can't get anything there. Ball bounces back towards him, but UCF intercepts it and takes it back Shenandoah's way.
Yeah, UCF taking advantage of the boost there as Pagani stops another shot on goal there. Pagani then driving it, turning it right into Shenandoah's offense, driving it over to the wall. But Kiazi fine just under it. Mango hits the top crossbar, not getting the goal that Shenandoah was looking for. No one back. UR has a shot on open goal, giving UCF their third goal here in Game 6 with just under 2:30 left on the clock.
Yeah, really aggressive attack there from Shenandoah is unfortunately going to cost them another goal. Now it's 2.5 minutes remaining here. Match point for UCF. They are up 3-0 here. This is a dangerous territory here for the Hornets, but you got to be thinking, clear eyes, full hearts, can't lose. Got to get back into this one. Can't let your mental go down. And another goal here might make that mental go down even further, but Shenandoah going to get it out of there. Clears it for just a second. Mango in position to get them on the attack. Gets it right over to UR, who takes it back up the field for UCF. However, Mango there to slow them down for a second. Pagani looking to get up there, and unfortunately, UCF extends their lead to 4-0.
Yeah, just keeping that pressure on, using the momentum that they have currently leading in the series there. UCF just not letting up, not taking their foot off of the gas there. As they said, we've got our fourth goal here in Game 6, just over 2 minutes left. Going into the kickoff, UCF already driving it on the Shenandoah side where Kiazi is waiting, gets it past Lou there, but it's followed up by Super, keeping dangerous pressure there on Shenandoah. You are flying up, putting it just above the goal where Kiazi's waiting, but Super just keeping that pressure right on that they've been playing this whole game so far.
Yeah, and the pressure Shenandoah is going to try to flip on UCF's head, but they are there to make the save. UR makes 2 saves in a row there as Mango tries to get a shot on goal. Can't find anything right there. Super now takes it back up the field towards Shenandoah's side. Pagani going to whiff on that one, but luckily takes a good bounce in favor of Shenandoah. Now Pagani going to try to get back there once again, but whiffs on the ball. Mango now going to have to go back to retrieve that one here, and that's going to hurt as UR gets through. Centers it for his teammate, demos a Shenandoah player, and UCF extends their lead to 5.
Yeah, UCF taking advantage of the ability just demo whoever's there. I mean, Shenandoah having only one person back, it's a risky play. If that player goes down, that's your whole line of defense there, and UCF is capitalizing on that one person being gone. As we go into the kickoff there, UCF up 5-0 with just under a minute, and we're dangerously close to another goal for UCF. Mango able to clear it just for a second. Kiazi coming in to help out. UR and Lou both getting passed by Kiazi, who's keeping the pressure on, but it's not enough as Super clears it for UCF on what is looking like an almost open goal there for Shenandoah.
Yeah, just barely able to make that save. However, they got to get back there to make a few more as Mango going up in the air, whiffs on that one. However, thankfully, Kiazi able to clear that at least for just a moment here. But now the ball going back the other way. Shenandoah just barely able to make that save. Mango does get a demo. He gets 2, actually. Now Shenandoah on the attack. They have a little bit of boost to make something happen. Ball, unfortunately, rolls back. Almost it gets centered there for UCF. However, Mango going to stop that, at least for now, but the ball looking to roll back towards Shenandoah's goal, and it's going to head in as Lou takes another shot, gets another goal. UCF up 6-0 with 20 seconds remaining.
Yeah, it's going to take a miracle here, Moss. I mean, Shenandoah, 20 seconds. It's unlikely, but they would need to score a goal on just about every kickoff in order to tie this game. So it's rough as we see Pagani sending it over into Super, who immediately passes it over. Kiazi waiting, trying to get some pressure with just under 15 seconds left on the clock, going down to the last 10. Pagani looking to try and soften the blow here between the lead here in UCF.
Yeah, unfortunately, it looks like Shenandoah has been shut out here in Game number 6. They're looking to get up in the air. Maybe make this one look a little bit prettier than it does right now, and they will, as they do end up at least not getting shut out here in Game number 6. However, they will lose the series 4-2 as UCF takes this one.
Yeah, I mean, that now makes their overall record 5-1, correct, Moss?
Yeah, this will make their record 5-1, and I believe that will get them technically tied with UCF Academy. However, as we know, that would mean I think they have the tiebreaker because I'll have to be corrected by the producer because I don't know if they take head to head, if NECC takes head to head or game record as a higher priority. I don't know which one is which because I'll have to do some math here in a second, or back of house might do some math for me, but I believe UCF will technically be in first place when it comes to seeding over us.
Ah, okay. Well, even if you have to be corrected, I appreciate the clarification there. I wasn't quite sure about how it worked seating-wise, but Shenandoah...
Keep talking. I can do some math back here. I think I got it.
Yeah, I think you do. But as you're doing that, I mean, Shenandoah was getting shut out. They were trying, even like you were saying, it wasn't any diminishing on UCF's defense, but the shots, the accuracy that Shenandoah had was just dropping. They weren't able to land the shots that they were taking, and that could be it was just hitting just to the left, just to the right, or someone from UCF was in the way.
Okay, I will say, I think that we have one more Rocket League game this week, NECC, because this was technically a reschedule.
Oh.
So I think there's one more NECC game. So it does depend on what happens in that last NECC game. We believe Shenandoah is taking on Puerto Rico, who has lost back-to-back games and was in first place earlier on in the season. But if my math is correct, and they can tell me I'm stupid in the back of house if I am wrong, but Shenandoah is now sitting at a 22-7 game record, and UCF is at a 22-9 game record. So if they take head-to-head as a higher priority, UCF will be above us. But if they take game record as a priority, Shenandoah should technically still be in first, barring whatever happens in this last week of NECC for both teams.
Yeah, I mean, that's going to take it. I mean, just tonight we saw, as soon as one team gets some momentum here in Rocket League, they can go. I mean, in Rocket League, you're not only putting your foot on the gas just to drive the car, right? But you're putting it on as soon as you get the tempo, the momentum your team's looking for, it's go, go, go. Or maybe we're going to wait a second just to mess up what you're planning to do.
Yeah, and like we mentioned earlier on in the series, Shenandoah came out firing, they won the first two games, and then they started making a lot of mistakes, and they cleaned up the mistakes. And then in the last game, after the first two goals went in, I think their mental just got shot, and UCF took it for that one. But we're going to go ahead and take a look at the head-to-head from that series. Average score for each team, 322 in favor of Shenandoah, 427 in favor of UCF. Now, what I will mention is the much higher amount of goals. I mean, obviously, UCF ended up winning 4-2, so they're going to have more goals. But then, 16 total assists from UCF, and then 7 from Shenandoah. 16 out of 19 of those goals were assisted, which is pretty good there from the side of UCF. Average shooting percentage. This is something I do want to hit on here for Shenandoah. 14 less shots compared to UCF, which isn't too much in the grand scheme of things. I mean, it's still a decent gap, but it's not too much. And just look at that disparity in average shooting percentage there from Shenandoah and UCF. UCF had a 31.67%, and then Shenandoah had a 17.39 average shooting percentage there. Sorry, we're laughing because I just did the 6-7 emote here in the. You can't see it, but I did. Just not able to really send one through, and those saves. I mean, both teams, had around the same amount of saves, but Shenandoah sent a crazy aggressive attacks there towards those last two games. They just couldn't send anything in, as you can see by the 17% on average shooting percentage. And we're going to go ahead, however, and here in a second I think we'll take a look at some player stats from Kiazi and Lucas. Actually, no, scratch that. Mango and Lucas from each of their respective teams. Here we're going to see shooting percentage pretty similar, saves pretty similar, goals pretty similar, and assists, a little bit of a gap there. But Mango has been one to kind of be the leadoff and will kind of go in and just bump the other players out of the way and set up his teammates for greatness. Unfortunately, not able to be successful that series. Yeah,
and I mean, right there, Lucas getting the 8 assists. I mean, like you're saying, with those assists, just kind of racking up. Most of UCF's goals were coming from assists, and Lucas showed, hey, I can do this. I can shoot all I want, but really, it comes down to that teamwork, right? I mean, you can't shoot on a goal that's got the entire enemy team in it without your teammates. I mean, it is a 3v3 game, so you kind of got to use your teammates, pass it to them when necessary. You can't take every shot, right?
Yeah, can't take every shot, but the shots that you do take, you got to be a little bit more accurate with them, and I think that's why in the end, barring that last game where it was just clearly a mental difference there, Shenandoah wasn't prepared mentally there for that last game. Their just shooting percentage was pretty not as good as it should have been, but I think for now we are going to go ahead and head to a very short break. We will wave goodbye here to Isaiah as I have another casting partner coming back here because we have one more Rocket League match left to go, and after that we have a Smash match, so do not go anywhere. There is more Shenandoah action coming your way. Good evening, everyone. We are back, and we are going to play a practical joke on you. We actually are back really early here for this next Rocket League matchup, which has actually already started. We're in game number 1. We did have back-to-back games here, as this one was supposed to start at 7. Got a little bit delayed, but we are going right now. Score currently 0-0. Shenandoah is taking on Florida Tech here. Now, this is NACE, so this is a best-of-5, and we're just going to see how this one ends up.
All right, and we're going in, and we are already starting in mid-center. We got the enemy team going ahead and trying to get the ball out from their side with Pagani intercepting that one right there.
Yeah, ball in the middle of the field, both teams vying for position. I just realized we're in a completely different stadium.
Oh, we are.
Yeah, this is not a stadium I'm used to seeing. As
Oh!
Florida Tech almost sends that one through. Good enough there for Shenandoah. It sends right off the crossbar, but Florida Tech there able to make the save. Pagani trying to follow up on that one. Ball just rolling around there in the corner. Shenandoah player whiffing right above it. Mango whiffing again, but that sets up Kiazi to stop that attack there. Sends it over to Pagani, who sends it over hopefully to Mango, who's going to get a touch there at least for a minute, but Anso on the side of Florida Tech able to get that away, but Kiazi now trying to get position, trying to get the ball there in midfield. Mango following up, not able to get that shot through. Now Pagani flying up in the air, has boost to make something happen, but lets it fall towards Kiazi, who takes it back towards Florida Tech's side, but they slow down the attack for now.
And we see a Mango going ahead and setting up that ball with Anzo sweeping it and stopping it right there with a... Oh! And we have Anzo still setting up the ball.
Yeah, ball bouncing around there in front of Shenandoah's goal, but they're going to clear it, at least for now. Anso looking to get back on the attack for Florida Tech, but Mango stops it right there at midfield. Now in front of Florida Tech's goal, Kiazi looks to send it through, bounces back, but Mango there to follow up. However, Anso makes another save. Pagani looking to follow up on that one, gets the ball, trying to juke a few Florida Tech players who are going to stop it, at least for now. Mango looking to follow that ball towards the ground, now getting up in the air, trying to bounce it back, trying to go ahead, look for a pass over to Kiazi, who was unfortunately not in the right angle to take that one towards the goal as Florida Tech stops that attack. Now looking to send it back the other way. Mango, however, on defense there, but whiffs the ball, and Sloth takes it through, takes the shot, and the ball gets scored there for Florida Tech. Sorry, shaking off a little bit of rust. We got into this one pretty quick.
We are now 0-1 with Florida Tech heading in. And as we set up, we're racing in with Pagani taking in, hitting it with Sloth, and we're seeing it going towards left center stage. And we see Banana trying to set it up for his team with Anzo going in and swiping it.
Yeah, ball falling right there in front. Mango just kind of letting it fall and gets back in position to try to make sure the ball doesn't go through there. Another follow-up there from Florida Tech. Shenandoah able to make that stop. Kiazi gets up into the air pretty high. Now Pagani looking to follow up on the defense there. Mango does as well. Clears it towards Florida Tech's side. Bounces off the wall. Gets sent. Mango passes it to himself, I think, off the wall, and is going to take that one through the goal. Ties this game up at 1 apiece with a minute remaining here in game number 1. Like I mentioned, this is a best of 5, so a lot less wiggle room for both teams. A lot less mistakes can be made here in a NACE series, and mistakes almost got made there as the ball looked to roll in, but a Shenandoah player able to make that save.
We're going in, and with Sloth going in with the reset, trying to go in and hit, with Banana following up right behind it.
Yeah, right, ball taking a bad bounce in favor of Florida Tech. A couple demo goes through. Mango makes the save. Pagani gets demo. Mango now looking to get on the attack. Sends it over to Kiazi, who bangs it off the post. They don't get anything out of that one, but Mango still has control of it, at least there for a second. Pagani rotating back, trying to get in front of the ball. Has the boost to clear this one. Maybe even get on the attack as he tries to go over a Florida Tech player, but they contest that one. Now Kiazi, however, gets right under the ball, and a huge mistake there from Kiazi. Mango not able to clean up that one. Florida Tech takes the lead here with 20 seconds remaining, now up 2-1 in this first game.
2-1, and we're going right back in. With 20 seconds left on the clock, we got Pagani swiping it over already. We got some aerials going on with Kiazi going in for the steal, trying to angle it, but just not quite there yet. Yeah, and a chance that Shenandoah had right there until a couple of bums came through and not enough boost to really get an attack going. But Mango taking it in the air, 3 seconds remaining. They have to score right here, keep the ball off the ground. It goes right over Pagani's head, and Florida Tech will take this first game here in this best of 5, 2-1. And honestly, what I want to mention is how quick Shenandoah got into this series. I mean, they just kind of had a heartbreaker there, losing their first NACC series just a couple minutes ago to UCF Academy, and you got to go straight into this one kind of on a lower note, because that last game they played, they lost 6-1,
And trying to bounce back from something like that mentally and just, mechanically is pretty difficult.
I'd agree. And looking at it, we got.
Yeah, real quick though, because we didn't get into this without kind of providing the context around this match, we're going to go ahead and take a look at the NACE standings really quick. Now we got to go through this rapid fire as Shenandoah is sitting at 4-2 here in NACE Varsity Premier, sitting in the 3rd place. And we have, I believe, Florida Tech right below them, almost right below them at the 5 spot with a 3-3 record. Games record 11-12. Shenandoah's game record 13-6. Higher percentage here. Now, we'll note Shenandoah is 3rd place here in NACE, it looks like. And you need to be top 4 in NACE, I believe, in order. No, that's NECC.
That's NECC.
Rocket League, you need 4 wins to make playoffs, and they have those 4 wins. So they're in the playoffs. They're just looking for a better seed here as they head into game number 2 against Florida Tech.
As we're heading into Florida Tech, we are setting up the stage. We have Mango and Sloth going head-to-head right at it. And we have, with aerials coming in from Banana as we bounce the ball right back off the wall.
Yeah, Mango looking to try to make something happen there pretty early on. Kiazi as well going to follow up, get in the air, try to contest that one. But Banana looking to center it up to himself or a teammate who comes flying across the screen. Gonna whiff on that one, which sets Mango up for a huge goal. Huge assist, my bad. Pagani gonna send that one through, and Shenandoah takes an early lead here in game number 2. Great bounce back there from the Hornets.
We are only 40-ish seconds in with a goal from 1-0 by Pagani. And as we head and we race back into this second one, you see them going at it with Pagani and Anzo heading at it with Pagani taking it out from under them. We've got Mango trying to get in, just not quite getting it right there.
Yeah, ball rolling around in the corner on the side of Shenandoah's field and looking to clear it, maybe get on the attack. Pagani read that bounce pretty well, but Sloth did as well. Gonna contest that, but now Pagani going to set himself up, hoping for a pass from Kiazi. He not able to get there, doesn't have the boost to make anything happen. However, Mango does have the boost to make some stuff happen, but Banana going to try to slow that down and redirects the ball at an angle that Shenandoah was not predicting, and that ball will go through. Huge shot on goal there from Banana to tie this one up for Florida Tech.
With a tie, we are now setting back up.
Yeah, right now, both teams set at 1 apiece, 3 minutes and 50 seconds remaining. Gotta hope for Shenandoah to bounce back from that last series loss here. Going to this one pretty quickly. Quick turnaround now. NACE also, less mistakes can be made. Best of 5. They're down 1 game. They can only afford to lose 1 more if they want to take the series and keep up their seeding at the moment, heading into this last week of NACE competition, well, for the regular season at least, here as Mango makes a huge save. A little over 3 minutes remaining. Now, Florida Tech not letting up on their attack as Kiazi gets demoed. They have a shot to make something happen here, but Pagani going to contest that. Mango sends it fast right across the field. Kiazi looking to follow up on it, but doesn't get the angle right and misses.
Sloth taking that chance to take that ball and send it into Shenandoah's field. We see Mango clinching that to try to take that back. Almost there, almost. Oh, and a score from Florida Tech, setting it to 1-2 in Florida Tech's favor right now.
Yeah, unfortunately right there, Kiazi was in a good position, but Anso just kind of left the ball floating because he knew he had a teammate there and bumped Kiazi out of the way, which led way there for Florida Tech to take the shot, and it was a wide open goal, so they score right there. Now lead for them up 2-1 here with just over 2 minutes and 40 seconds remaining. Pagani looking to position himself for the save, trying to clear that one, misses it for just a second, but gets upfield, trying to get in position for a Mango pass, but Kiazi going to take that one instead. Now right to Sloth, who is going to take it back the other way until Mango intercepts that, at least for a moment. And now Shenandoah are going to have to get themselves in position, try to rotate back. Kiazi trying to get there in time, who bounces it up high right above their own goal, trying to clear it, trying to get it out of the way of Florida Tech, who keeps bouncing, keeps rebounding there right in front of Shenandoah's goal. And the ball getting sent right through towards it, but Pagani, they're able to make the save.
And now we have 2:10 left on the clock. We're still 1-2 with ties. Excuse me, we are now 2-2. Tied up with Florida Tech right now with a score from Mango in that next one.
Yeah, and honestly, Mango, pretty smart there. And I'd assumed that this was a decision there. He waited an extra second. He hesitated to take that shot, and he let the Florida Tech player kind of bounce the ball off of him as they were looking to kind of clear it and try to make the save. And Mango just sitting right there, let the ball bounce back right into him, and he took the shot and scored there to tie this one up. Now less than 2 minutes remaining. Shenandoah has to get the ball out of their goal sight line as it's bouncing around in front of it. And thankfully, at least for now, Shenandoah have been able to make a save, but they don't have much boost to get on the attack. They're going to have to rotate, get in good position, get some boost, trying to take the lead here as there is a minute and a half remaining. Ball sitting around, floating around midfield as Florida Tech going on the attack.
Minute and a half, and Shenandoah's defenses are still up. We are still trying to ensure that ball is not getting in there with good defenses from both Mango and Pagani. As we see Mango pass that ball towards Pagani.
Yeah, bounces off, which Pagani had a chance there trying to pass it over to Mango, but Mango not going to get a good angle on that one. But Pagani has the boost, trying to go up in the air, getting the good positioning. However, Anso from Florida Tech going to slow him down. Kiazi going up in the air to pass that on over to Mango, looking to center it for his teammates. But Sloth having something to say about that. Takes it away, but Kiazi going to slow that down. His own player, Florida Tech's own players bumping each other out of the way. Almost makes way for a Pagani shot, but not going to find anything there. Mango rotating back, looking to get in front of that one, keep that from out of the goal, but gets demoed. Kiazi and Pagani now the lone saviors there for Shenandoah, going to clear it right now. Just over 30 seconds left, game tied at 2 apiece.
2 apiece, and Sloth trying to ensure that that ball is just leaving their field. And it bouncing back and forth from Mango and Anzo at the moment, with a Pagani taking out Sloth with a demolition. Mango stopping the ball from Banana as it rolls midfield. Almost trying, we got 10 seconds left on the clock with Pagani trying to score that ball right in there.
Yeah, and Mango now taking it up, trying to center it for his teammate. Kiazi comes barreling in and misses it. Shenandoah has to keep this on the ground if they want to try to score before we head into overtime. They got to get defense actually. And so looking for a good shot on goal, but it's going to be off the mark as this game number 2 goes into overtime. Shenandoah doing a good job of tying this one back up.
Outright, we see Banana taking out Mango with the demolition as they try to get that ball in there. We see the ball mid-air floating between them, close to a goal from Pagani, but getting smacked out the way from Sloth.
Yeah, Kiazi following up there, just missing short there of the goal. Now Shenandoah on defense, trying to get that ball out of there, trying to clear it, but they are out of position. Florida Tech doesn't have much boost, but the ball was there. However, they did not get there in time. They don't score right there. Kiazi rotating back, trying to make the defense, but whiffs on that one. Banana gets demoed by Pagani. Kiazi looking to take it on the attack, but gets contested by a Florida Tech player. However, Mango up there able to follow up with an aerial, trying to center it, trying to find something here in overtime. Pagani just whiffs by it. Don't know if he's waiting, probably waiting in position there for Kiazi to send it his way, but the ball's going to get intercepted. And Mango, unfortunately, just bumps it. Trying to get in position, trying to rotate back in front of defense, but didn't expect that ball to ricochet. I don't think he expected Anso there to come in, follow that one up, and Mango just helping the ball head into their own goal. And that's a tough one.
I agree.
I think that's the second own goal today that I've commentated over. The first one came from UCF. Unfortunately, that one comes from Shenandoah in overtime, and that's tough on the mental for sure.
Absolutely. I'm wondering what's going on through their minds right now as that goal from Mango accidentally hitting that in there into their goal.
I mean, at this point, there's not much you can do. You need a full reset. You can't blame. You don't blame anybody. Stuff happens. You got to just push on through it.
Absolutely.
Ignore everything that just happened. I think that last game is still kind of weighing on their minds, and they just need to forget it. It happens. You just gotta go. You just gotta keep moving. Mango definitely. I know Mango. He's beating himself up over that one because that's a tough one, especially in overtime. Yeah, that's rough. But now you're down 0-2 in the series, best of 5. Got to regain. You cannot go down further mentally. You got to be happy. I think Kiazi just needs to get in there and start singing or something. I think we need Kiazi to just get in there and start singing. It's good. We got to have some good vibes because right now it's a mental game.
Mm-hmm.
We know Shenandoah has the talent. They have the skill set to win this series. It's just whether or not they can climb out of the hole that they dug for themselves.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I do think that in this one, this may be Caster's curse coming at me, but
don't do that. Can't be doing that. As we head into this game number 3, Florida Tech up 2-0 here in this best of 5. Clear eyes, full hearts, can't lose. Shenandoah, you got to lock in right now if you want to make something happen. Mango looking to make something happen early, looking to set up his team for success. Pagani going up in the air. However, the ball just rolls right over the goal there, but Kiazi looking to center it too. Not able to get anything out of that. Florida Tech center gets it out of there, at least for now. Mango, though, looking for a weird angle there, trying to set up a goal for Pagani, but not able to get anything out of that one. But Shenandoah is still in position, still has possession of the ball, at least for a second. Mango now trying to gauge the weird bounce there that ball is taken at the midfield.
We head into the end field of Shenandoah's goal, with Mango sending that ball right back out to get blocked by Sloth. We heading in with Kiazi trying to get an angle in for that ball. Pagani, and demolitions are happening left and right off screen.
Yeah, they demoed each other, and it made way a little bit there for Pagani to get a shot on goal, but the last Florida Tech player there able to make the save. Shenandoah is still kind of on the attack. Mango looking to take a great angle there on the shot, gets it right above the post, but doesn't center it. Unable to send that one through. Pagani looking to fire right back, sends it towards Sloth, who's there to take control for UCF. Kiazi, however, going to intercept that ball for now. Now, Mango taking it up in the air, looking to center it for his teammate, but Banana has something to say about that. Gets up in the air, contests that one. Pagani now looking to send it in himself, but Florida Tech, send it back the other way. Mango there just in time. Huge save there. Now going to take it back the other way. Empty goal here for Florida Tech, but Ansel going to get back there, rotates in time to save that one. Ball takes a weird bounce off Kiazi. Florida Tech still has a chance to get this pass on over to their teammate. Take the shot. Banana looking to follow up. Does not get it.
Does not get it, and he is still trying to get that ball into the goal. With Pagani trying to take that angle out to get it out from their end goal over there, as it keeps bouncing around in that end goal, with Kiazi trying to take that initiative to get that ball out of there, with another assist by Pagani, and Kiazi bouncing it back and forth as it sails into Florida Tech's end goal.
Yeah, Kiazi right there taking a shot and also bumping the Florida Tech player out of the way, trying to make way for Mango to take a shot. Not able to find anything just there, but they have a chance still. However, Florida Tech taking it back the other way in the air. Pagani getting up there to make the save. Now, Shenandoah passes it over to Mango, who looks to center it for his team, gets some boost in the meantime. Now jumping up, predicting where that ball is going to go next. Kiazi going to get in the way of that one. Anso, however, going to send it way over there, back towards Shenandoah's goal. Pagani waiting, hopefully hoping that the ball hits the post there, as Anso's going to demo Kiazi, trying to make way for a goal. Mango just on his way through, gets two demos. This is Shenandoah's chance to make something happen, but Banana comes from off screen, able to make that save, takes a great angle. Mango looking to get up in the air for that one, trying to clear it. Sloth trying to contest it. Pagani, though, got to win that contest, at least for now, but ball gets passed over to Sloth, and the Shenandoah player sails right underneath the ball, but ball gets passed over to Pagani, who's in the corner of Florida Tech's side of the field. Mango looking to contest on that one. Shenandoah trying to get a goal here, trying to go up here with a minute and a half remaining. But Anso's going to have something to say about that. Mango at the midfield going up with all of his boost, trying to win this aerial battle against Florida Tech. But Sloth there able to take that bounce away from his own goal.
Under 2 minutes left in this match, and we are still 0-0 at the moment. Banana and Mango going at it with one another with a demolition by Pagani, as both Banana and Mango sail for the ball. It's now mid-center. It can be anybody's ball right now. With a minute left, we have Pagani taking out from Shenandoah's end goal. Mango with the assist with him for that.
Yeah, and right now Pagani looking to center it up for his team. Ball goes under a Florida Tech player. Mango taking it over Sloth's head, but he gets up there just but nobody in the way from Pagani, but unfortunately doesn't have the velocity to send that one through. Both Florida Tech players get there in time. Now ball is cleared, still tied 0-0 apiece, but ball looking to roll in. Pagani there able to make the save. 30 seconds remaining in this game number 3. Florida Tech up 2-0. Shenandoah has to win this one to extend the series. Mango goes up in the air, trying to make something happen. Sloth not able to get a touch onto that one, and therefore Pagani is going to be able to clear it for Shenandoah. Ansel going up in the air, reading that ball pretty well. Now Shenandoah trying to follow up and keep on the attack here. 8 seconds remaining. Mango looking for a shot. Sends it up really high. Pagani, though, in the air, looking to get that one through. Unable to. Now 2 seconds to end. Florida Tech's just going to look to take this into overtime.
And as we head into overtime, we're now racing head-to-head. Pagani and Banana heading out for that ball. Piazzi sending it midfield into an aerial move. Trying to assist Mango with that goal.
Yeah, Mango going up there in the air, trying to make something happen, but Pagani and Kiazi both get demoed. This is bad. Mango was on his own for at least a couple seconds until Pagani gets back up. Now, multiple players there for Florida Tech going up for that one. Kiazi may have a chance here to make something happen. Tries to send it over Banana's head, but Sloth there in the meantime to make the save. Both Shenandoah players looking to be on the attack, trying to get that goal to go through, but they got to be careful here. This is overtime. First goal wins the game, and in case of Florida Tech, 1 goal wins the series for them as Kiazi demos Sloth. Shenandoah looking to take advantage of the numbers. Mango flies up in the air. It slowly falls to the ground, and Anso able to make that save. Now Kiazi has to get back there in time, looking to get that ball out of there. It almost goes in, but Shenandoah makes the save. They clear it for now. This is still dangerous, though. Anso on the attack, but Kiazi going to start clearing it. Sloth going to pass it back to Banana, who is there to take that ball up the midfield until Pagani going to intercept that one, trying to take possession in favor of Shenandoah. Mango now in a good position. Almost gets bumped there by Sloth, but now still has it in the air, trying to go over to Anso. Doesn't get it over Anso's head. Now Banana sends it over to Shenandoah's side of the field, at least for a second. Shenandoah has more boost than Florida Tech. They have a bigger opportunity to make something happen, especially if Kiazi here could get a good angle, try to center it for his team, maybe even pass it over to Mango, who's looking to get up into the air and get this ball into the goal, into the side of Florida Tech. But now they're taking on the attack. Pagani, the lone savior on the side of Shenandoah. However, Kiazi comes in, helps him out a little bit. Shenandoah now on the attack, trying to send this over past midfield, but Florida Tech has all 3 players in position to make the saves for now. Kiazi, however, trying to center it, but whiffs there. Banana now in control. Mango going to bounce that ball back over to Anso, who takes it. Kiazi going to set that up for Mango to try to clear it. However, ball goes back to Kiazi. Mango now taking it out in front of Shenandoah's goal. Pagani now send it over to Florida Tech side of the field, and a pass over to Mango is going to not yield a goal for Shenandoah, but Kiazi on the follow-up. There's still a chance here until Florida Tech sends it over towards the midfield.
Absolutely, and I must say Shenandoah's defense is impeccable in this match as we head in. Oh, a demolition by Anzo, taking out Mango. We see Pagani trying and aiming that ball and getting in there. We have an aerial up front with heading into mid-center field with Sloth intercepting that ball, sending it flying right back over them. We see Kiazi just trying to get that ball and clinch the ball away from them. Anzo heading on in some odd move.
Yeah, not able to really hit that one the way he wanted to as Mango goes up in the air, but gets bumped by Florida Tech. However, both players miss the ball. Anso now in position to make a goal. Shenandoah flies by it. They got to be careful here. This is dangerous. Pagani misses it. Ball's rolling around in the midfield. Banana in a good spot to center it for his team, but Shenandoah able to make it back in time. The Hornets now on the attack. Mango looking to send that ball over Sloth's head. Banana, however, able to collect that one at least for a second. Kiazi looking to try to get some position to center that ball, but Pagani actually going to be the one to center it as Sloth takes over for Florida Tech until Mango comes from out of nowhere, able to center at least for a second, but Mango not able to get anything out of it just yet. Now pulling off some crazy movement in the air, sends it over to Pagani. Now Mango looking to rotate back, get in a good position just in case that ball gets sent their way. However, they're still on the attack. Pagani demos a player and almost sends it through, but Kiazi there to follow up as Shenandoah takes this one into overtime. They are now only down by 1 here in this best of 5. Incredible goal there. Great positioning there from Kiazi as all of those offensive attacks from Shenandoah finally yield in a goal. in a crucial moment to save this series.
Absolutely. That was riveting. I was honestly scared for Shenandoah at that moment, but their defenses during that overtime was impeccable. They had each other's backs during that, and that's what I like to see. That was a good comeback for Shenandoah right there.
Yeah, that's a great mental reset too. I think that, it's tough after what just happened. You go into overtime and it's like ball's getting sent everywhere and there's multiple saves happening for both teams in a row. And it gets a little scary there, in certain points, especially that ball. Kiazi making a huge save. That ball almost just straight rolled into the goal.
It did. It really did.
Just barely missing, like by edges. It didn't get far enough in there, and Kiazi able to make that save. And eventually, Shenandoah will take that game in overtime. And now they're down 2-1 in the series. This has to be a reverse sweep, obviously. Best of 5. Florida Tech went very quickly up 2-0, but now 2-1 after that overtime win from Shenandoah, and we are going to go back into game number 4 here shortly.
Game number 4, and I'm sure they're feeling good after that match.
Oh, God. Production just, on my, viewers, you can't see it, but they flashed that picture of me again. They keep doing it.
Oh, they did?
One of these days, I'm going to get him back. I'm going to get that guy back. Because he
I don't know
refuses to
about
go on
that
cast. No. Ian, our producer back there, loves throwing the picture up here. Real quick, hold on. Pagani going to get demoed, and Florida Tech scores off the rip, and I think I'm going to blame our producer for that one.
5 seconds in, and Florida Tech clinched that in a goal to 0-1.
Producer's curse here for Shenandoah, unfortunately, as Florida Tech goes up 1-0 here in game number 4. Now, a bounce back is going to be needed here from Shenandoah. This is a little hurtful, to get scored on that early in the game when you're on series point, especially with how long they've been playing for now at this point. Sloth looking to center it, but Pagani going to collect that one up for Shenandoah. Now Banana, however, centering up for Sloth. And so demos Pagani, but Kiazi there able to bump Sloth and the ball out of the way of their own goal. Now looking to take that up the field. However, Florida Tech still in the attack. They got to be a little careful here.
And Kiazi sending it out into the outfield right there with Banana. Oh, with a clinch from, I want to say that was Mango coming at the ball. See the ball just out and about towards their end field right there. You see Sloth coming at the ball, going for it. The defense is by Mango, trying to get that ball out. And Pagani with the assist and a score from Pagani, evening the score 1-1.
Wide open goal there with no help from our producer. Pagani able to take that one in for the side of the Hornets, and they tie game 4 up here at 1 apiece. This is a must win, as we see. Look at that. That's what I like to see right there. That's what I like to see. I bet Mango heard what I said about our producer, and he found that really funny as he's looking to score off the rip again. But Florida Tech able to make that save, and so in a great position. Kiazi looking to make something happen here, and he gets demoed. And it leads to a Florida Tech score, unfortunately, here with 3 minutes and 45 seconds remaining. We are just seeing an onslaught of goals, back to back to back. This is happening pretty quick.
Fast-paced goals coming at it from left and right from both Shenandoah and Florida Tech. And we go right back into it, Pagani and Banana, with Banana taking the initiative and grabbing that ball, almost kind of getting that goal. And it's bouncing right back into Anzo, going at it. Kiazi trying to angle that ball that's at a weird angle right there.
Yeah, Shenandoah Mango has to get back in position for defense. All 3 players now on their side of the field. Now they just send it right back over Sloth's head, who's just able to get up in the air in time to make the save, but Kiazi going to get a pass from Mango. Unfortunately, off the mark there just a little bit, as Mango now looks to collect this ball, has some boost to make something happen, looks to juke. A Florida Tech player almost gets that ball into the goal above Banana's head. Does not, however. Now Florida Tech in possession of the ball around midfield, but Pagani going to intercept that ball, at least for now. Mango going up in the air with the boost he has. Not able to get a good touch there as Kiazi sends it back the other way. A couple of bumps happen off screen as Pagani comes flying in there trying to get a goal, but not able to get the mark there as Mango now contesting the ball midfield. Well, kind of scary there. Ooh. But Pagani, they're able to make the save, at least for now. Kiazi going to back him up on defense. So is Mango, who has the boost to clear this one. Dodges one player. Now he's going to look for a one-on-one score. Banana, though, get in position, but not high enough. He doesn't get the angle he needs, and Mango ties this game up here for Shenandoah.
we are seeing a comeback from Shenandoah right now. As much as you're going fast-paced, you see Shenandoah with great defenses, and the offense has gotten much, much better in this match. Pagani taking the ball out. You see Kiazi trying to go and assist him with that. Sloth taking the ball away from him with the interception. Banana coming at the ball.
Yeah, right now, Florida Tech on the attack and some Shenandoah players out of position. However, Kiazi is there, ready to make the save. Gets that ball, clears it out of their own side of the field, tries to get on the attack. Pagani now not able to get back up in time, and another goal just over the top of a car. We are going back and forth and back and forth. It does not end here in game number 4.
No, it does not. We are now down 1 with Florida Tech at we're 2-3. At this point, it is anybody's goal. We still have 2 minutes left on the clock. We have a stalling ball in midfield with Anza coming out to get an angle at it. Pagani blocking that ball. It's still at a dangerous point for them, with Mango taking the ball out, sending it into the outfield and sending it into their end zone.
Yeah, ball taking a weird bounce there, kind of just floating around until someone feels like they actually want to get a touch there, as Kiazi is going to bounce it back towards Banana, who gets it over his head, but Pagani there in position reads that one beautifully, as Anso now gets control of it at the midfield, goes over Mango's head, but Kiazi there trying to make the pass, or maybe even just center it for himself, but a Florida Tech player gets up in the air, slows that one down. However, Pagani looking to follow up, Kiazi as well, but realizes he needs to play defense now, rotates back with the boost he has. Now ball takes a weird bounce off the roof. They got to get in position to make the save on this one. Pagani now getting demoed, but Kiazi ready for that one as he makes the save there for Shenandoah. Now, minute remaining. Shenandoah still down by 1 goal. They might be down by 2 in a second, but Pagani making the save there. Now looking to take it up the field, but Sloth slowing that one down here as he looks to center it for Florida Tech, who still has control of it in Shenandoah's side of the field.
And we see the ball, it's just stalling out in the middle, and you see Sloth going at it to intercept that ball. Almost goal, trying to get above Banana, missing just a little bit, and Kiazi taking the ball out from them.
Yeah, right now Sloth still on the attack though, centering it for his team, but it goes way over the mark there as Kiazi takes it. 30 seconds remaining. Shenandoah needs to get boost. They need to get control of the ball. They have 23 seconds remaining. They need to tie this one up. This is series point here for Florida Tech, but Anso going to try to extend that lead, centers it up for Sloth, who centers it back, passes it back over to Anso, and takes the goal there. I mean, excuse me, Sloth. Let's reverse that. Sloth sends it in because the ball bounced off of both players back to Sloth, and then he takes it through there as Florida Tech takes this lead up to 4-2.
We're 15 seconds left on the clock, trying to get those 2 goals that they need. We're 10 seconds now with Banana off center, just trying to sort of be that assist for their team. The ball's mid-air. I believe that they're trying to keep that mid-air so that they can possibly go into overtime. And ball touching the ground, and we have a 2-4 with Florida Tech taking the win from that match.
Yeah, unfortunately, Florida Tech going to take that series 3-1. A not so great night there for the Shenandoah Rocket League team, as they unfortunately fall short in both the NACE and NACE series here in our last week of competition. Not great there for the Hornets, but this is a sour note just for tonight, as this, obviously, we've played a full season pretty much. We still have, I think, one more NACC match at least on, I believe, Wednesday. So they still chance to bounce back, gain some more momentum heading into the playoffs. And I think, like I said before, they have clinched NACC, and I think they've practically clinched NACE, barring they lose again. And I think it's just 4 wins, and they already have 4 wins. So if you have 4 wins for NACE, and they get in NACC, I think they've practically clinched too. They're in first or second place, depending on the tiebreakers and how serious NACC takes each one, what the priority is.
Got you.
For each. But look, it happens. Your seed might be like one spot lower if you're the Hornets, but good season in both leagues. Now you just got to bounce back in scrims and in the VOD room. I don't know how much VOD they do, but I do know they put in a lot of work. They scrim probably. most next to our rivals team. Both teams scrim so much,
They
way
do.
more than the Call of Duty team. Who I don't think they scrim at all. But like I said, great season still over, great regular season overall from the Hornets. They have playoffs made, I think, in both leagues. They still have a shot to go pretty far when it comes to both NACC and NACE.
Well, absolutely. I think I would bet money that we would get close to championship.
Dude, you bet money. I'm not betting money. That's a bad thing to do. Do not do that. That is bad. We don't do that around here.
No, we do not.
We do not do that around here. I still want to shout out these guys. I mean, they've struggled a lot, right? I've been here pretty much the entire time these three guys have been a team. They've struggled a lot here and there. They have their really good moments. They have their really bad moments. Tonight, really bad moment, but I'm just rooting for these guys a lot, because I believe in them and I think they've put in so much work. And I mean, they love playing Rocket League with each other so much. And I'm just hoping for the best for them. Hopefully should have the 1 or 2 seed in NACC. And I don't know, we're in 3rd place in NACE, so maybe the 3rd or 4th seed here. But we're going to go ahead and take a look at the head-to-head stats team-wise here from that series in just a second. Shenandoah losing 3-1, unfortunately. I think just a weird game due to the nature of how fast this was played after the first series.
Absolutely. Was there a break in between for them?
There was like maybe a 2-second break in between. I mean, they had to go into that, right? Because like the first game was scheduled for 6, and then the second game was scheduled for 7, and that first game went pretty long. But anyways, regardless, we're going to head and take a look at these head-to-head stats from that match here as Florida Tech going to get an average score of 436. Shenandoah looking at 324. Total goals now pretty close, to be honest. 6 for Shenandoah, 9 there for Florida Tech. Assist a big difference. A lot of Shenandoah players just making individual plays there when it comes to goal scores. And now Florida Tech, the save difference. Twice as many saves here for Florida Tech than Shenandoah.
Absolutely.
And another thing I do want to mention, I just noticed that the total shots here. This is actually probably the most important thing on this stat sheet. I want to take a look at this here for a second. 44 total shots here for Shenandoah, 27 for Florida Tech. Florida Tech had a 33% average shooting percentage. Shenandoah with a 13.64. That is not how you want that to look after a series, unfortunately. So a lot to clean up here for Shenandoah going into the playoffs, but we're going to go ahead and take a look at the players head-to-head, the series MVPs for both teams. You have Mango on the side of the Hornets and Sloth for Florida Tech, which their stats look pretty similar. Mango taking 20 shots, however, and Sloth taking 11. Now that shooting percentage is another thing. Sloth almost hitting half of the shots that he took, which he took 11. And honestly, Mango, our longest standing player, I believe, he is going into a senior. So this is like, I do want to, let's talk about that for a second. All three of these players, I believe, except for, I don't know too much about Pagani's situation. I think Kiazi still has a year left, but this is the last semester these three will most likely play together. So heading into the playoffs, I'm sure they want to make the most of this. And honestly, I'm hoping for the best. They still got a good shot. This is a reset moment. You look back at the mistakes you made. You're like, okay, we need to fix this, and this. We were still playing pretty well here. We just got to reset our mental and go into the next game with, clear eyes, full hearts. You won't lose. Got a good chance at it still. And I believe for now, we are going to go ahead and head off for a break. But don't go anywhere because we do have Smash action coming up here soon. And who doesn't want to watch Smash? Go get a snack, get a drink, come back, and be ready for some more Shenandoah Esports action.